All right. Before I start watching this video, I just want to let you guys know I have been playing the game. I think it's pretty good so far. I'm only like level 78. Been taking it very, very casually. I'm like a hardcore casual, dude. I'll be in the game like all day long, but I'm doing other stuff. So, but I've really been enjoying the content so far. I have done none of the PvP. I think that type of stuff. I think season one maybe starts tomorrow. But I gotta say, as like a casual player, I've been enjoying it. I can see Quinn's perspective. I'm guessing it's gonna be like very, very hardcore, like sit down and play the game like every day for 2 weeks, you know. Um, and that's kind of what he wants to do. And I don't think the game is necessarily in a place where that's like really the way to play it at the moment. Um, and honestly, those people that like want to like just dive into the content and go all the way to the end nonstop, are kind of slowed down nowadays, I think. And I don't necessarily think that's a terrible thing. I'm gonna get a blanket, it's cold. All right, I got my blanket. Let's watch the video. Ooh, you know what, I was gonna get some jerky too.
Yo, what's going on, boys? I just wanted to make a video talking about World of Warcraft and effectively why I've quit so early and why I think, I quit Dragonflight so early last time as well, and why I think WoW in general is just bad. Now, don't get it twisted. I ain't some WoW hater, okay? I ain't some WoW hater. I am a WoW Andy through and through. The most played game of any game ever across my entire lifespan is World of Warcraft, and I've played a lot of games. Let me tell you, bro, I played a absolute shit ton of games. I love WoW, and I really, really want World of Warcraft to be good because when WoW was good, it's life destroying, bro. I don't want to do anything else except play it, and that's currently not the case right now, and I'm gonna point out why. Also, I want to preface I'm not some classic Andy. A lot of you guys.
And I also don't think that's like what the devs are going for. It's like a no life game anymore, which in some ways like it's kind of sad because like it's kind of cool to have like at least that, or like a game that's so good that it wants you to spend like all your time in it. But honestly, I don't think that's what modern WoW is anymore. I think if you're wanting to do that, at this point, hardcore classic WoW, or just like playing with the guys on fresh classic servers would be the best idea, like on Deviant Delight.
Guys probably think like, oh, this guy's he likes WoW, but he just likes old WoW. No, okay, well, technically yes, a little bit, but no. I hate the the classification of everything nowadays. Where they're just re-releasing the same shit with a new coat of paint over and over again, doing it in games, doing it in movies. Whenever they announce classic, believe it or not, I was pretty upset. I was like, well, this is shit. Why are they doing that? Why don't they just make the retail better? And that's fundamentally how I feel. Why don't they just make like the new one, like have all that stuff that people like about the classic, except make it better, right? Maybe innovate, come up with some new stuff that really elevates the game to a level that we never thought possible. So why does WoW currently suck? What I did is I just made a bunch of bullet points as to why I think it sucks, and the ones that came up first, I guess the ones that are probably closer to the surface of as to why I think WoW sucks. Straight up, early access. The fuck is that? Why it's totally
Early access
kills the hype
does
of an
suck,
expansion.
dude.
Why the
Totally
fuck
agree.
does that exist? It's not even early
Totally
access.
fucking
It's
agree.
just some shit they're saying to
So
basically
dumb.
let you pay to win and get into the game earlier so they can make more money, and then all the stuff is locked anyway, and you can't do fuck all. So they're basically scamming you, and then on top of that, you're playing, and it's like not hype because half the people aren't playing. I don't know. It's just a terrible thing, and I honestly, from a marketing standpoint, I think it. You know, you're shooting yourself in the foot, right? Like, yeah, you're gonna make some money from these, pay piggies who are gonna get the early access, like me. But what you're trading off is like the hype of, oh shit, boys, on this day, everyone's logging in and we're all playing World of Warcraft for this expansion. And they're basically, yeah, the early access that immediately is as a vibe killer, followed by the 3 week. I mean, bro, 3 weeks of time gating. 3 weeks of time gating. Come on, man.
I figured that would be a problem.
One week max. Changed my mind, bro. In the current state of what there is to do, 1 week max. Maybe I'm a nerd. I don't know. But I just think, that whole thing where you think about like I don't know. I don't want to be talking about PoE too much, but you think about a PoE league.
You're
right?
definitely a fucking
the
gamer,
league comes
dude.
out. You don't want to do anything except play the game, and you don't even want to sleep because there's so much new shit in the game that you got to try out. You got to pop off. You got to farm all the new shit, all the new. Well, guess what? That feeling of like wanting to degenerately log in and play the fuck out of the game, just doesn't exist. Which, okay, again, is a hype killer. Now, what is hype? That's some shit that comes and then it goes. That's not what makes the game feel good long term, right? That's just hype. I mean, that's just two things that I think is pretty bad. Now let's move on to the more, maybe, let's say, important things. Probably, I'd say one of the largest issues is the overworld. Okay, and what I mean by that is like not instance, out in the world. It feels dead, bro, and it feels bad. Why is that? And I asked myself that question as I was leveling. I
It
constantly.
does feel a little empty, doesn't it? Let's swap over to the game here real quick. So I'm just sitting here in an area. Let's see how many enemies are on my screen. So we got 1, 2. We have an Arathi captive over there. I think these are actually mobs. Then around me we have this place. There's some Ravengers. It is mighty big, like wide open. But old WoW zones were like that, so maybe it's that everything feels like kind of like this all over the place instead of there being like groups of like, hey, you're gonna run into like the knolls over here, and like there's gonna be a lot of them, and that's all you're gonna see. But here you see like different mobs. Although even in like Elwyn Forest, you end up seeing like other boar mobs there. But I guess they're kind of related to the. I guess not. So I don't know.
Thinking about it, and I was like, man, I don't know what it is. And you know what? I feel like it's the fact that nothing at all poses even a remote challenge or is even a slightly dangerous or, even a little bit difficult. It's just every single zone, every single area, every single monster, you run in, you can aggro as many monsters as you want. You can do whatever you can literally be holding down your S key, clicking your keybinds, and you just AoE them down. Run in, pull a bunch of mobs, AoE them down. And it's just how it felt. Like, I don't know, man. Bro, I had like, there was quests where like...
I wonder how geared Quinn was going into the expansion. Because I'll tell you what, I was not geared at all. Like, I think my guy was like level 67, like the day of like the expansion, and I leveled him up to 70, like doing the pre-patch stuff, and then the expansion went live. And so I've just been like getting gear as I've been leveling up, and I died a few times. So maybe just stuff was overtuned, but like still it's such bullshit because of the the paid entry.
You know, it's building up to this big campaign boss guy. You press 2 buttons on him and he's dead. You don't even get to you don't even get to pop off. You know, I love popping off. You know, why are the monsters that are supposed to be big bad guys dying before I can even get a single rotation out? You know, I don't know. It's pretty dumb. So I feel like that's a pretty large feeling as to why you know, the overworld feels a little bit shit. Another huge reason, and I hark on about this all the time, and I feel like it's because it's a really big one, and honestly people disagree with it a lot, but I straight up think that flying in World of Warcraft, yeah, it's cool, but it's actually dog shit and bad for the game. In my opinion, there should be like one zone. You should have one zone. It can be the up area, you know, whatever. They have one zone, and that's the dragon flying area. It's a zone design with a bunch of verticality, a bunch of those races and shit, so you can do the Hogwarts broom quests, and you can fly around, do all that stuff, and you can do all your flying and have all the flying mounts and do all that good stuff. But then guess what?
I want them to do more with ground mounts in the future. Like, I can see a future where like you have like ground and air battles, you know, like even like a cool like battleground or something where like you have air battles and like ground battles, and you can swoop down and help your ground buddies. Like, I think that'd be cool eventually, but they've got to do something really cool in one of these expansions with movement on the ground when you're on your mount. I don't know if that's like, you know, I can just like think of like giving like your mount like a pounce, or like, you know, a dodge or something like that. That would be really cool. Just some different like movement techniques that you could do with mounts, kind of like dragon flying, I think would be very cool.
When you get into the other zones, no flying. It's just ground mounts. And the reason why, like, why? But why does he not like flying mounts? Just don't fly, forehead. No, that's not how it works. The second you have flying mounts in the game, it becomes a teleport to XY coordinate simulator. And what I mean by that is like, well, what do? You just get a quest, you get a thing, you go there. You hop on your mount, fly up, coordinate, fly down, get to the thing, go. You don't have to engage with terrain. You don't have to think about where you're going. You just look at your map, go to the point, do the thing, go to the point, do the thing. I mean, imagine if you're playing The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, bro, and Roach was a dragon, and instead of having to traverse the terrain, go through the different areas that are carefully crafted in ways where, you know, you're going to have little puzzles and little things to get through and, like, you know, jump, puzzle, all the stuff, except you could just fly right there. It would be fucking dog shit. And you know what? It's fucking dog shit and WoW. Like, yeah, cool. It's fun. I like dragon flying. It's cool. Have a zone for it. Have all the little races and shit. Those are actually genuinely some of the best gameplay in the game currently, which is a little bit sad, but, you know, also, hey, they can do something. Blizzard did make a new system that was kind of cool. So you got to give them that. Yeah. Now, another thing that is bad, I think, for flying is the fact that, I mean, I don't want to talk about it too much, but like World PvP, all the natural hotspots that you would necessarily, like, you know, there's a base that everyone comes out of, and there's a bridge, there's a chokehold, there's going to be a lot of players commuting through there. Naturally, you can go there, gank them, kill them, and that creates, like, you know, situations where people group up and have little battles and stuff. That's, like, a part of what makes the overworld feel alive and feel cool. Like, yo, dude, somebody help at this bridge, I'm getting ganked, all that shit. I don't know if you guys remember Hellfire Peninsula. I don't want to go too far back and be like, sound like some classic Andy or some Boomer, but, like, man, that was some good times. And, you know what? That's actually a very bad example because people could fly there. Although most people were questing. So they didn't actually have flying mounts. So, hey, it was ethical. I think also another reason why Overworld feels shit and feels dead is the fact that people can instantly queue into random dungeons, and they don't really need to go anywhere. They can sit in their fucking town, and they just spam random dungeons. So then, naturally, they don't go out in the world.
No, you know what'd be cool is if like they held off on using like automation until automation was needed. So like in peak times, like where the game isn't really struggling with people getting people together, like having it be more like classic where you have to interact and go and like go to the dungeon, get the group together, go to the dungeon, like have a little preparation to do stuff like that. I think would go a long way. And then eventually, like, you know, as the content ages and people aren't running it as much, then you can add some automation in to help, you know, get people that are still leveling or in that content in there. So I don't know.
I don't think that's cool. I remember vividly in the Wrath of the Lich King, you know, going to the dungeon instances and literally camping entire 5-man groups by myself and a warrior. Now, obviously, sometimes you die, but sometimes you kill them, and it would be fucking amazing. And I had fraps running, so I was recording that shit, homie. I was recording that for my PvP, my Warcraft movies video. Now I'm sounding like a boomer, but yeah, that shit was cool. And again, it created a sense of place and a sense of, you know, the dungeon exists. It's at this place. It's a physical location you can see and go to, and there's players there going in and out, and it feels like the world is in a live place, and there's things happening, and that creates that MMO vibe, that MMO feeling, which is just kind of not existing in the current version of WoW. I don't want to go into it too much because it's probably not a big deal, but I think war mode in general is just bad. I think I prefer the game better where you just pick a PvP server and then cool. Sweet as. You pick the PvP server, now everyone PvP's there. And then naturally, it means there's more people participating in PvP in general. It does suck being a streamer, but I think general, it's good to have more people engaging in PvP and being out in the world. Because again, it makes the world feel more alive. Now, another thing that I think is currently really bad in current WoW, and that is class design. It feels far too homogenized. And what I mean by that is like,
well, everything has
cool
an answer
niches,
for everything.
They're far and few between. You know,
Yeah.
some of the most peak WoW moments and interesting and cool and fun things were like where your class uniquely can deal with a situation and where you can do a thing that no one else can do. Like, I don't know, there's some mechanic in a raid and it's gonna, everyone else has to move back. I'm a paladin, but guess what, bro? I have an invulnerability bubble I can press. Boom. I can press that shit. Or like, you know, you're a rogue and you got Cloak of Shadows and there's this debuff that everyone has and they can actually run off the side and drop it early.
Fuzzy
There's all
Diana,
these sorts
how
of
you
little
doing?
things you can do. Little things where if you're a master of your class, you have unique tools and kits.
Appreciate the follow.
You know, that you can do that other people can't do. Like, I don't know, maybe you're a mage and you're supposed to be really good at AoE, and then like this other guy's a feral druid and he's like really good at doing 2-target damage where you can bleed one guy and bleed another guy and he does insane broken damage in this particular situation. And I feel like what happens now is it seems like, from what I can tell, in the current game, every single class has like a million different self-heals, a million different procs. Just this procs out the wazoo. You just attack, you press one button, it procs another button, which procs some other thing, which procs a passive, which procs a heal, which procs a shield. And naturally, you know, this is my experience on I did with a Ret Paladin, and I was just playing my Enhancement Shaman. Even if I wanted to like not AoE, my character just spams AoE by default. Same with the Shaman. Same seems to be like every class. And what's happened is like everyone has a million procs, a million different. Everyone just does broken AoE, broken heal, broken mobility. Everyone just has insane mobility. And then when everyone has something, like when everybody has the ability to self heal, do AoE damage, do single target damage, do cleave, do all the shit. Has the insane ability. Nothing really feels special.
Yeah, there's no diversity
I changed
anymore.
my mind. Mages should be squishy that can nuke you from afar if they cast an ability at you, right? And they should be able to control you and slow you and CC you. But like if you get on them, right, then you should mess them up. It shouldn't be, nah, this mage can self-heal while teleporting, while instant casting, while doing, you know, I'm not saying mages, to be fair, mages actually seem pretty balanced right now, but the point that I'm making is that it feels like, I mean, bro, I had a fucking hunter. I was 1v1ing a hunter. The hunter was literally healing his HP bar to full multiple times over, it felt like, taking no damage, spamming, it's like, what? It's a hunter, bro. Why is he doing this? And then simultaneously, I'm a Ret Paladin, and I don't know, that's supposed to be my niche. It's a Ret Paladin, it's supposed to be able to do some off heals, and I can't even do it. I mean, whatever, bro. the fact that I'm making is the point that I'm making is class design feels bad because they're giving everyone everything. And that whole dominating a niche thing just doesn't, it's not there. And I think why is that? It's something to do. Everyone in chat says it's to do with Mythic Plus. They want to make everyone OP in Mythic Plus, but like, bro, I don't know. Maybe some classes shouldn't be as good as other classes in Mythic Plus. Just a wild thought, bro. In my opinion. This leads into PvP pacing. Because everyone
man, I wish everybody would stop talking about balance. Just make the game fun. Let the classes that end up shining, shine that patch. You want to do something about it later, do something about it. But like, this whole idea of balance is so like such a human, like almost legalistic idea of that needs to be like implemented, is this idea of balance when nothing in the world is actually balanced. And like, we don't live in a balanced universe, but for some reason we want to like get to this state of balance, especially when there's numbers involved. It's really, it's like, I think it's really destructive to our like being and like our creativity and like projects that people are involved in.
Like a million passive procs and hots and dots and all sorts of stuff that what happens when you press like a button on a guy, well then they have to like slow down the PvP massively. They're going to nerf everyone's damage, because if they just like, you press this button, it did 5 things and it just one-shot someone, well that's not going to be good for the game, right? Because it's way too complicated. You attack and it does 500 different abilities that proc of each other. It's just not, doesn't work. So then what happens is all your buttons, when you press them, they don't feel meaningful, right? You press your buttons, you're pressing your burst button, you're pressing your damage button. They're just taking slow damage like this. It's a slow. You can't even feel like, I'll like have all my shit up, all my cooldowns are up. They're in a stun. They got no cooldown up. And I'm like, all right, here we go, boys. This is going to be massive. Big crit. This guy's about to get wrecked. Boom, I attack. Nothing happens. And the pacing is just heinous. Like, heinous. And I think this is because of the fact that they've just, got the classes to the point where this is what we're dealing with. Like, it's just so bloated. Like, I think less is more. I think that we should be doing far less things. That should be far less procs happening, far less abilities proccing other, and they should be doing a lot more. Like, I should press my Templar's Verdict, right? And if my wings are up, I should see their HP go down by like 20%, 30%. I should see a rogue doesn't eviscerate on me, full combo points. I don't have a defensive cooldown up. It should chunk the fuck out of me. Not like, whatever it is now where you go in and it's just like 2 guys and then fucking 5 pits fly out. It's like dots going everywhere, fucking beams, laser beams, hammers flying out, and just like both of our HP bars are kind of slowly moving, and you're like, well, I don't know, it's just not good. In my opinion, in terms of speed, like what is a good speed, my litmus test, I think, I was trying to kind of like get this into a sentence where you can understand it. I think if you're in PvP and you're 2 equally geared players, and they're both really geared up, if a rogue was to do a full kidney shot on the other player, and the other player is not a tank, use no defensive cooldowns, doesn't trinket, does nothing, just stands there and just sits in the kidney shot, and that guy should die in the kidney shot. That's what I believe. If they do nothing, don't get peeled, nothing happens, and they have no defensive, they didn't do anything to stop it from happening, they should die. So not like insta-gibbing, but like, people can die. And then, I don't know if you tried some Battlegrounds in terms of PvP pacing. Healers. Specifically, I mean, priests are the worst right now, but like whatever, I don't know. Just healers in general. Any expansion where healers can indefinitely keep people alive while casting instant spells only and using no cooldowns, that's just bad and it feels awful. Because what happens is you just get like, 2 teams of players running in. Everyone's at full HP, everyone's just spamming AoE, and you're all just doing all these little procs and everyone's just cleaving each other. It's like some PvE battle, like you're in like a Mythic Plus basically, and they're never just sitting at full life until eventually one of the healers goes and then people slowly die, and that's just the most unfun shit ever. It should be like, nah, you get a full poly on that healer, everyone bursts this guy, he dies, or you like stun a guy and you can kill him. But I had situations where it was 5v1 and we're fighting a backpedaling priest who has no idea what he's doing. No idea. He's like just hitting his face and just pressing out the random keys. And because of the fact that damage is so low, because they reduced it so much in PvP, and because instant cast spells are so OP, he's able to just slowly backpedal and just heal himself to full over and over again. And that it just feels dog shit. And overall, PvP just feels awful right now. And the main reason, in my opinion, why is that? I think it's PvP gear scaling. It's the new system. It's dog shit. It's a failed system. And I think it actually is the fundamental most bad thing they've done for PvP in the game, period. And what is that? That's some system where basically you get to max level, which takes leveling like for 3 hours. That's in a whole nother issue altogether. You get to max level, you do BGs for 5 hours. You get your entire honor set. And then you get this gear which says scales to 626. And it's better than all other gear that's not PvP gear, but specifically for PvP. So it completely trivializes any gear that's not PvP gear for PvP. So it effectively means every single person's the same, because presuming you can play the game for 5 hours over the period of a weekend, gearing is irrelevant. It doesn't matter because everyone effectively scales to the same level. And it means all PvE gear, dog shit. All Mythic Plus gear, dog shit. All any sort of unless it's specific crafted gear, it's dog shit. And what is that? It's just a template, bro. It's just literally like, hey, guess what? You're playing an MMORPG, which is supposed to be about like gearing items and stuff. And guess what? You get to like get your character leveled up, and you get a templated character. So you're just playing a normal generic dude. Maybe
That's crazy, man.
The secondary stats, so you can be like, maybe you guys a little bit more haste or a little bit more crit. But generally speaking, you're just playing a templated character. And then you're like, oh, but wait, I could go to PvE and get like some fucking badass trinket or something and take it into PvP. You can't, because the trinkets, A, don't scale up, and B, they put a 2-set trinket bonus on the PvP trinkets that completely shit on all the PvE trinkets. And in my opinion, this is just terrible. It's terrible. It's awful for the game. Because they make the PvP gear super tanky, super slow-paced. They make all of the fun, cool PvE gear completely useless. So now, like, any reason why you might consider, hey, let me go into a raid and go and get a piece of gear and take that into PvP. It's pointless. You're wasting your time. You're better off spending 30 minutes and just getting the honor gear than you would.
I mean, the raids aren't out yet, but we can assume that's probably going to be
like
true, right?
Some of the best times in WoW, in my opinion, I'm thinking back, Wrath of the Lich King, bro, getting a Deathbringer's Will, and just getting that trinket that turns you into like a Viral dude and gives you like fuck tons of armor penetration and all this shit, and you get that trinket, like, you're going and you're raiding every week. It's literally in-game content. You're engaged. You're excited for the moment where you kill this boss because you're hoping to get this loot. Doesn't drop. But every time you do it there, you get past that stupid gunship battle, you get to the boss, you kill him. Eventually, it drops, bro, and you win it. You then take that into the battle round, and you take that into the arena, and you start dominating people, and it feels so fucking good, bro. It feels so fucking satisfying. Yeah, it's a bit gimmicky, bit of a meme, not like the perfect balance or whatever, but who gives a fuck?
Like, the game's rewarding you
this
for...
This is an MMORPG. This isn't a fucking esport. You should not be balancing the game like it's an esport. You should be making it fun. And now, okay, you have the other extreme end where you have like, just using Wrath of the Lich King. I'm not like a Wrath Andy, by the way. My favorite expansion was... not for like PvP, but my favorite expansion overall was like Legion. I'm like a Legion, Mop, Wrath kind of guy, whatever. But I'm not saying the game should be exactly Wrath of the Lich King. I don't think it should. I think Wrath had plenty of problems. But like, yeah, we don't want 2 people running with Shadowmourns just absolutely annihilating everyone while they backpedal, right? So for sure, some items should be like maybe nerfed in rated arenas and rated places. Now, that should only be the case in rated. Everywhere else, all the gear should work. And on top of that, the gear, all the shit that isn't completely broken, that should also work in rated. Change my mind. And Vice versa, PvP gear shouldn't scale up. That system should be deleted, and the PvP gear should just be good. So what do I mean by that? So obviously you should be able to get PvE gear and take it to PvP, and it should be good. Vice versa, you should be able to get PvP gear. So if you're good enough to get to a high rating to get the PvP weapon, you can then get that weapon and take it into a mythic raid and fuck shit up early because you got like an early game weapon sooner than everyone else did. Because you can also, you're like a, you've spent time to get good at the PvP in game, and you've also spent time to get good at the PvE in game. You should be rewarded
right.
for
You're
that.
getting rewarded for playing the game.
That cross pollination gets people. This is like a huge thing because PvP is dying, bro. It's fucking going down. Do you know why? Because there's no reason to go in there anymore. Because this stupid trash system, which like takes the RPG elements out of the fucking MMORPG, which is like question mark, and people are like, well, why the fuck would I go to PvP? There's nothing there for me. There's no loot.
True.
I didn't like it. People kill me, and I'm trying to heal, and they kick my cast. I don't like that. Why would you step out of your comfort zone if there's nothing there to incentivize you out? So yeah, just delete the PvP gear scaling. It's literally gear templates, right? It's just stat templates with a couple extra steps. Like, oh yeah, I found this gear out, bro. It took me 5 hours, bro, and now I've got a stat template. It's trash. And you're gonna hear people complain about it and say, well, that's just shit and it's imbalance. Yep. Fuck them, dude. Fuck them. This is an MMORPG. This isn't a fucking esport. If you go play League of Legends, if you want the game to be perfectly balanced, go play League of Legends. And guess what? If you're doing one of the tournaments, right? If you're doing the AWC World of Warcraft Cup, okay, cool. Then you can have your templated character on a tournament realm. You're on a tournament realm, and it's got none of that broken shit there, and it's just mano v mano, and you can see who's the best gamer, whatever.
Yeah.
But let the people playing the MMORPG have fun in the MMORPG. Like, I want to be able to get my Vial of Shadows and fuck some guy out with it. I want to be able to get my PvE weapon and take it to PvP. Or I want to be able to get because I'm good at PvP and I can get to a high rating, I want to be able to take that PvP gear into PvE or into M+, or take M+ gear into PvP. You get any which way.
Vice versa.
The systems should complement each other. They shouldn't be totally against each other. Another huge reason. So yeah, this should probably be higher in priority. Actually, straight up just move this thing higher in priority. Another huge thing that is wrong with WoW, bro, and that makes WoW shit in the current year is the WoW token. Just delete it from the game. Straight
WoW
up.
token's so
do an economy
garbage.
reset. I don't know, make gold redundant. I don't know. The WoW token is so shit.
So shit.
It's so shit. It
Get rid
kills
of-
straight up a huge portion of the in-game, maybe like half of the in-game for me, used to be like grinding gold. I liked getting gold. I had characters that had multiple professions, and I'd filter all these things. I would have herbs, and I would mill the herbs, and I would turn the herbs into glyphs, and I would sell the glyphs, and I'd do all this shit. Why would you do gold farming, professions, carries, all sorts of things that you could do to earn gold whenever you spend time, like you could spend like 3 hours farming gold, or you could just work at like a minimum wage job for, for the equivalent of 10 minutes to farm like 3 hours. I don't know, the ratio is insane, right? Unless you're like literally in a world first guild and you're selling like the first mounts where you're selling for like, gold cap per mount or some stupid shit like that. It's pretty much never worth farming gold. You're always better off to just earn real life money and then, from the corporeal realm, and then spend it, put it into, and then get the money out. And it basically kills off entire end games, in my opinion. Like I am a profession Andy. I love professions. I love that, bro. Professions where you get like special perks and bonuses for having that profession level up.
Way more excited to play
and then
the
you
game.
Can use that inside of rated battleground.
I'd be so much more excited to play the game on a daily basis if I could log in and know that the people ahead of me are ahead of me because of the time that they spent in the game, because they planned their life out for that instead of knowing that the people inside of the game like just spent more money than I did to get to where they're at. It's such a terrible feeling. The WoW token and the shops are so degenerate, so like cancerous to World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft's original spirit. Yeah, it's just not even funny, man.
And stuff like, man, fuck yes, bro. Dude, I'm actually sad, dude. I'm straight up sad they removed engineering from PvP arenas. Straight up, dude. That's how much of a fucking proficiency I am. But guess what? I've done this, just what I haven't interacted with at all. This entire expansion. And that, whenever I tried Dragonflight, same deal. Proficients. Because why the fuck would I? I could just get everything that I could want from the provision just by spending, like, $30 on a WoW token, get all my enchants, get all my shit, get all my gems. And it's just more efficient. And to me, that's, like, sad because that's just a reason to not play the game now. It's just another thing that I could do and I could be enjoying doing, but I can't because I just feel stupid to do. It's the same reason, like, people are going to say shit like, oh, if you don't like flying, just walk on your mount. Like, no, I'm not going to completely cuck and waylay myself. Like, that just shouldn't exist in the game, right? The WoW token is awful. And, bro, this argument that people have where they say, well, people are just going to RMT, bro. People are just going to RMT if the WoW token's in the game. Fucking ban the RMT guys! Ban them! Ban the guys who are cheating. Or people cheating every game. Ban the cheat. Don't just put cheats in the game legally.
Dude,
ban the fucking cheaters.
If Blizzard was based originally in Texas, there's no goddamn way all these cheaters would be getting away with this shit. But since it's California,
on top of the WoW token, cosmetics, a little bit of in-game,
they'll just let their shit get broken into and rebuild.
It also devalues. It just devalues every other cosmetic in the game. Like, why the fuck do we buy a game and then pay a fucking subscription to that game, and then they also devalue
not worth the insurance
by selling you the cosmetics? Like, why is that a thing, bro? It's like selling gold like,
until there's nothing to insure anymore.
I mean, maybe obviously this is the reasons why WoW's currently dog shit, man. And I'm like, delete the WoW token and delete. Obviously, these are things that this is like obviously it's a pipe dream. But I'm kind of just, hoping maybe like Chris Medson's going to come in and be like, for the Horde, the WoW token's deleted.
That's what everybody hopes.
PvP system. Fucking cosmetics, can't buy them anymore, boys. Let's fucking go. That's kind of like, that to me, for them to make WoW great again, this is what they're going to have to do, bro. Either they are going to do it or some other company's going to do it.
Yep.
Right? Another little thing as well, we'll just cap it off. I mean, I have literally like 4 pages of notes here of things that I think make WoW bad. These are just the major ones. I'm just going to do the last major one here. Leveling, bro. It's literally not even in the game anymore. Boosts. Wait as kill your world as fast as possible.
Dude, I cannot wait to watch Asmongold react to this shit.
Let's add boosts in.
It's going to be so good. We're going to watch it tomorrow.
Let's just make leveling not even exist. Because leveling doesn't exist right now. In the game, it's literally boost and then do quests for a few hours and then you're max level, or literally boost and then do dungeons for 2 hours and then you're max level. Do you know how many of my best memories in World of Warcraft were me leveling up my main character or leveling up one of my ults? And it just doesn't exist. It's just another thing. It's just another entire thing you could be doing that's just removed because, I don't know, people think it's good. Like, man, I love being able to have, not earn any of my leveling and just instantly have every character boosted up and have every character at max level. This is great. You know what? The rest of the game doesn't exist. It's only the end game, which, I mean, bro, I'm sounding like a little bitch right now.
That is modern WoW.
Remember, I love World of Warcraft. I really want it to be good. And this is just the reasons why I think WoW's bad currently.
I agree with Quinn on almost every point he had.
It's slightly improved.
Other than maybe some of the gatekeeping stuff.
Dragonflight, because the Dragonflight story.
I don't mind that as somebody that doesn't like intake everything.
Like some random.
Give it to me. I'm gonna click through everything. Like
some lightning dragon guy. It was so dog shit. And you know what? The cinematics and the story. I went through the whole story of the new one with all the. It even had the little recaps, and the cinematics got far more in depth with the characters, which I liked. And you could sit there and have the extended dialogue to get to know the people, and really, it felt better. So hey, they are improving in some aspects, but I feel like in almost every other aspect, retail WoW, I don't know, retail WoW, just World of Warcraft in general, whatever the fuck you want to call it, WoW is just actively getting worse, and it's like, Can they not? Can you not do that? Can you just make it better? Because I love WoW and I want to play WoW, but currently, modern WoW is a straight up. I mean, it's a straight up, completely mid to maybe even below mid game. Okay, and I really am hoping, praying to Jesus.
One of these days,
Because what
man.
it will take for me, I'm quitting WoW right now. I'm quitting WoW. Like, I'm done. I'm fucking done. Like, I've literally,
I don't
I've
think
had
I'm
some
quitting
sort of
yet.
internal like meltdown because I've been sitting here battling my own mind. Like, man, I love WoW, but man, this sucks so much dick. This sucks, and I sit there and I'm trying not to be like fucking sitting there complaining the whole time, but I just complain the whole time because it's like, bro,
Go play Wukong,
like,
dude.
what have they done to my boy, man? What have they fucking done to it? You know?
Just go play
You know,
Black
I
Myth
really am
Wukong.
hoping that somehow something's changing at Blizzard,
Relax.
and with the next expansion, maybe they do some big overhaul, and it's effectively like WoW, you know, reborn, WoW 2, you know, and they delete all this dog shit that's in the current game, and they make it, you know, they make it what it should be. Great again, bro. Make WoW great again.
Make WoW great again.
Peace.
I agree, dude. I agree. The WoW token is so destructive to the game. It's not even funny. The store, the addition of cosmetics on the shop was deadly to the game, and I think there are a lot of people on the dev team back then that knew it, and you know, I hope that more people's eyes are being opened. Not that they've been blind to this stuff, but like the effects that it has on like the game and the way the game can be played, because it just it ruins it. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and you know, I'll go to bed. Yeah.